Dope, 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 let's get it. I'm a trapping fanatic, that shit automatic, so I cannot turn it on or off. Bitches all on my dick, then she hop on my dick, I'm like, why you keep hopping on and off? Yo, bitch all on my dick, she be doing the most. I tell her, little bitch, she so extra. And my gun up on me, but not run up on me. Niggas, they wanna fight, they some wrestlers.
Dr. Gero was a scientist and a shinobi within the Leaf Village. He was actually quite famous among the crowd. He had made many of the shinobi tools that were seen today. The man was a student of the late second Hokage, Tobirama Senju, alongside Danzo Shimura and Hiruzen Sarutobi. Hiruzen would go on to train the 3 legendary Sannin, but one of his students seemed to gravitate towards Dr. Gero. This was of course Orochimaru, who took part in many of the experiments that were held in his laboratory. After becoming a Chunin, he solely studied under Gero, and their bond grew greater. Many years down the line, Orochimaru decides to betray the Leaf Village, and many took it upon Dr. Gero as the person who caused this. Villagers began to shun him, but he did not care. His student had his own goals, as did he. One night, a vision would come to his mind. It was a dream of a being that he could not see. His eyes could not comprehend it in this false reality known as a dream. The figure that stood in front of him only glowed white, but he could understand it. The perfect shinobi, he would say as he woke up from this dream. Someone who could save the world from constant war and battle. Someone who could create a sort of peace among the nations. However, how could a person like this exist? And where were they? It would take some extreme genetics to have the strength to do this. Even the courage of a regular person would not be enough to do this. Not even mentioning the intelligence needed to properly maintain and lead a nation towards peace. Then the trust of a village would need to be gained as well, so the humanity of this person would need to be great. A person like the Sage of Six Paths from Legends would be needed. Gero begins to work on this project, but has to go through the imperfections first. Of course, they were the stepping stones towards the final goal. This is where androids 17 and 18 were created. Twins from the village had volunteered, and their transformation was a success, turning a shinobi into an artificial android. Wasn't as hard as he had imagined, but that wouldn't be enough, and he knew it. Gero then became fixated with his ideals and goals. He constantly forced 17 and 18 to go out and collect DNA for him. This is where Gero himself, while trying to find DNA, stumbles across what little remains of the first ever village that was led by the Sage of Six Paths and his son. He's able to collect just a small sample of their DNA, and he's even able to decipher it and take it back to his lab, realizing that these two people were truly not human. This is where he begins tampering with it and multiplies it, creating more of it. He injects it into Project Cell. Months later, 17 and 18 returned with DNA samples from these clans: the Senju, Uchiha, Uzumaki, Hatake, Sarutobi, Nara, Akamichi, Yamanaka, and the Hyuga. There was just one more thing missing. Project Cell was just a void. It had no humanity within it. No matter how much DNA was added, no humanity could be added into it. But why? Why did this project not have it if he spent so much time trying to work towards it? Jiro then spends the next few years trying to find the answer to this, but nothing would come up, as no DNA could give a person true humanity. So instead, he begins to program this cell project with the way he wants him to be, with his goals in line. This was a lot more work, but he knew this, and he would get it done for the future of the shinobi world. However, 2 of his other projects became jealous, and a hatred grew from this jealousy and rebelled against him, and also began to hunt him down. On the night of the Nine-Tails attack, Jiro gets the DNA of the 4th Hokage and his wife, but he then thinks to himself, what about the Nine-Tails? Getting its DNA might be vital to this project. After getting all the samples he needed, he went right back to the lab with Project Cell. He reprograms it and then watches it begin to shrink into the form of a baby. He runs back into the village and finds the dead 4th Hokage, who had decided to seal the Nine-Tails within himself and his dying wife. The reason for this was the death of his newborn son, Naruto. However, in his final moments, Jiro appeared, showing him the baby. It was identical to Naruto, but how? The doctor explains that he has the DNA of the 4th Hokage and his wife. Minato tells Jiro that he's amazing and looks down. However, the doctor is stabbed by 17 and 18. He falls to the ground with a smile. He curses his creations, saying that this child will one day find them, and he'll have the power to kill them. Kushina is still alive, and by the time Hiruzen would arrive, seeing the his 3 dead friends, she explains to him that that baby is their own. His name is Naruto, so protect him. He's the future of the shinobi world. Hiruzen makes this a promise and picks up the child. But where was he? The child was still in the arms of Jiro. But just why was he here? He then looks down at all his injuries. He was protecting them all. Hiruzen Sarutobi commends his friends for his actions, knowing that he was a hero, and he takes a small boy off. Many years then begin to pass, one after the other. Naruto grows up very differently. He was a much more calm child, taking more after the personality of the 4th Hokage. This is what Hiruzen believed to be the truth, but that wasn't it at all. Naruto was still just a hollow being, as his personality wasn't finished being programmed. The only thing that he had in his mind was a purpose. He knew his purpose was to become perfect and create peace. But how? How could he become perfect? Naruto then gets up, walking around the village. He goes to a playground and climbs the jungle gym to the top. He sits there, looking around at all the people and buildings in the leaf that he could see. Naruto stands up and looks down as he hears something. He sees other kids bullying a girl. He jumps down with no hesitation, kicking one of them in the face, slamming them to the ground. Another tries to then kill him, but he would dodge. Why are his movements so slow? Naruto keeps dodging his punches while watching him. He leaves himself wide open each time. Naruto then kicks him back. Why are you all treating her like this? What did she do to you? Because she's weird. Look at her eyes. Naruto then turns to the girl who would cover her eyes. And he then turns back to the kids. And he keeps fighting them. After, he would go to the girl, who then bows to him. Thank you so much. It happens a lot, so don't fight for me all the time. Why do you let them pick on you? I don't know. Well, don't worry about it. I'll protect you and anyone else they pick on. She smiles at Naruto, and he feels this warmth inside of him. This feeling. What was it? It was strange to Naruto. The girl then walks up before Naruto could ask what she had just did to him. This was Naruto's first real human emotion that he felt. Sure, Hiruzen would visit him from time to time, but it felt nothing like this. Before any of this, he really didn't know what an emotion felt like. And right now he feels gratitude. Since Naruto was insanely smart, even for a 6-year-old, it was all because he was programmed this way. He then headed home. Since he didn't have a whiteboard, he cleared off a wall and began to write on it. This is all when Hiruzen would drop in to drop off this month's rent. He sees Naruto standing there, writing on a wall. Naruto, what are you doing? This is perfect. Lord Third, sit down for me. Humans. We have many emotions, but I don't really understand them if I'm being honest, and how they work. Today, I felt what I believe is someone's gratitude towards me for an action that I did. But I need you to explain these other emotions as well. Hiruzen goes through each emotion and what they can cause. But Naruto stops, looking at rage and happiness as they were the last two. These two his interest rose the most when looking at these two. Tell me, Hiruzen, what happens when you feel an immense rage? Hiruzen thinks to the moments that he was in war and was forced to kill others. He then explains these feelings to Naruto. Because of the boy's maturity level, he believes he can handle this information. Naruto nods and then asked him about his greatest feeling of happiness. Well, Naruto, there could be many reactions, but the most noticeable one is a smile upon one's face. In the life of a shinobi, you will experience all of these emotions, maybe even multiple at once. They can build a shinobi up, or they can tear them down to the ground. The choice will always be yours depending on how you react to them. You can choose to ignore them, or you can choose to let them dictate all of your actions. Each situation will prove, how well you can handle your own emotions. The third Hokage will then look at Naruto, who breaks the marker in his hand. I wish to become a shinobi right now. He then begins laughing, telling Naruto he has many years before that point, and Naruto asked him why he couldn't become one now, if he knew he was ready. It's because you don't know what it takes to become a shinobi of the Hidden Leaf Village, Naruto. You must go through the academy and graduate. Alright then. Step 1. I wish to go to the academy. Hiruzen thinks about it and actually agrees after some convincing from Naruto. And then when he presents this idea to the elders, they think it's a great idea as well. Since he is the son of the 4th Hokage, he must be a prodigy. Also, no one here knows that Naruto is a lab experiment, and they don't believe that he has the 9 tails within him. Naruto attends the academy to see other children much older than him. Iruka introduces Naruto to the class, and then he goes up to take a seat. He sits down, and some of the kids from the playground walk up to him. What are you doing here? I'm attending the academy to become a shinobi. What else would I be doing here? There's no way you'll become a shinobi, you brat. Well, if I can't become one, then you definitely won't be able to, since I was the one to defeat you. The kids around them, then begin laughing at the boys in front of Naruto. This causes them to try and grab Naruto, but the boy uses the body flicker and makes it behind the other students. Naruto then taps him, pushing him forward as he falls down the rows of the classroom. Naruto cracks a smile and for the first time releases a laugh without even trying. He sits back down next to his classmate and realizes it was the girl from that day as well. "Oh hey, it's you. Hi. My name is Naruto Uzumaki. What about you?" Naruto puts his hand out in a friendly gesture, but he's pushed out of the way by another boy in the class, who then creates space between himself and Naruto. "Sumi, is the new kid bothering you? Just let me know, and I'll take care of it." "No, Ritsu. He was just introducing himself to me. I should be the one doing it anyway because he saved me yesterday." The dark-haired boy then turns to Naruto. "Oh, well, I'm Ritsu, and I'll become one of the strongest shinobi in the village one day." Naruto looks forward, saying that's cool. We have the same dream. Then from this day forward, you're my rival. Naruto feels this fire wound up from inside of him as he agrees with Ritsu. The girl then introduces herself as Sumi Hyuga. The three of them then decide to hang out after school and become great friends. Only a year and a half would go by before Naruto graduated from the academy at the top of his class. Sumi congratulated him and Ritsu, and they were a little jealous of him since he was younger. Naruto could see that his rival, well, he told them that he'd be waiting on both of them to graduate soon. Naruto puts on his headband for the first time, and they tell him it looks great. He then heads out, and at night, Iruka would take him to go celebrate. They head to eat at Ichiraku Ramen, where they would have a great time. Naruto then asked him if being a shinobi, he would get to explore the world a lot. Iruka tells Naruto, "You'll have so many journeys, you won't be able to count them at the end of your shinobi career." After they finish their meals, he waves, telling Naruto he needs to go home and get some rest. Naruto nods, telling the ramen guy his food is the best in the village, before leaving. Naruto then begins to feel something. Over the years, he began to unlock more of his latent techniques. Since he had the DNA of Jiraiya, Hashirama, and Minato, he also had access to Sage Mode. Naruto utilizes it here to sense danger and many things around him. This is where he can sense the pain of those near him. He sprints in that direction towards the Uchiha clan compound, where he finds dead people in the streets. No, this is bad. Who did this? No. Why are they doing this to the Uchiha? They're one of the most important parts in the village's power. Naruto runs around finding the culprit. It was a masked man. His hair was long. It shocked Naruto. Why? Why does it feel as if they've met before? This was the Minato and Kakashi inside of him, reacting to Obito's presence. Obito could feel it too, but then he focused more on the boy's hair color. So this was the son of his late sensei. He attacks Naruto without a word, but the boy manages to dodge, shocking him. He uses Shisui's body flicker and hits him back. However, his next attack with the kunai phases right through Obito. The masked man then goes to grab Naruto, but he blocks it and he gets up, asking why he would do this. Each person he kills has their own life and a family that they want to protect. So just why? Why take them from them like that? The masked man tells Naruto that this world needs saving, and that's why he'll be the one to set it free. He grips his fan tighter while looking towards Naruto, who begins to get angry. This wasn't just his anger, it was also his sadness showing. Since he he always hung around Sumi and Ritsu. His compassion towards others had grown greatly. Through this, two sides of Naruto would begin to respond. First, the anger of those around him dying for no reason awakened the Nine Tails DNA inside of him. A furious red chakra then began to swirl around Naruto, causing the masked man to assume that he was the new Jinchuriki. Next, his Uchiha side was saddened that his family was dying. This awakened his one Tomoe Sharingan as well. Obito was taken aback by this, wondering if his sensei was hiding his true identity. Naruto picks up a katana that was on the ground and points it towards the masked figure. If you wish to save the world through chaos and destruction, then I'll oppose you and save it through my own ways of creating peace. True peace could never be created. That is something like a child that would imagine. Something you could dream of. That may be true for now, but I'll be the one to make it happen and prove you wrong. And it doesn't matter, right? It doesn't matter which one of us wins in the end, because peace will still be created, right? So I guess it's a race then. The masked man scoffs at this, rushing at Naruto, telling him not to compare his childish ideals to something he's planned for years. The two begin to clash, one after the other. Each now stands back to back, and they would jump forward, and they would clash again. Naruto would manage to block the fan, but the durability of this fan, it was something that was much stronger than a regular kunai. Naruto would flip away, and in this moment, something else happens. The two would clash one final time, as each now stands back to back, and Naruto would take a step before falling to the ground, passing out with his injuries. However, the masked man would hold his arm and his side, realizing that he was leaking blood. What? Just how did he? And what was that jutsu? In that final moment of their battle, he utilized the technique of the second Hokage. The boy then began to regenerate slowly while laying on the ground, thanks to his tail beast genetics and his Hashirama cells. What? What is he? I'll have to kill him off right now. Obito begins to walk towards the child, but in that moment of need, he's rescued by Sumi and Ritsu, arriving to protect him. They create an earth wall right in front of the room to separate the two sides, and then use a smoke screen to take Naruto away, leaving no traces of their footprints. He wakes up only minutes later, shocking them, asking where the masked man went. He grabbed his katana and tried to stand up, but Sumi pulls him to the ground, telling him they don't know. All they know is that he was about to be killed. He thanks them, but he also questions how did they find him in that moment of need. But they both say that they felt Naruto fighting, as if he was trying to communicate with them. Naruto, without realizing it, was using his Yamanaka DNA to communicate from far distances. Naruto then tells them that all of the Uchiha are about to be killed. He has to help them. Sumi and Ritsu would jump in the way. She says she's scared that Naruto will be killed, and Naruto sits back down against a tree, deciding to rest, as there's nothing more he can do. Later that day, he goes to the office of the third Hokage to ask him about something. Naruto, would you mind coming back a little bit later? Who is my father? Naruto, that is something I don't even know. You say, no, the village says I'm an Uzumaki, yet I have access to these eyes. Naruto closes his eyes and reopens them, revealing his Sharingan to the Hokage. Hiruzen looks forward with disbelief. How is this possible? Even he has no answer to it all. He wonders if Minato was part Uchiha because he was an orphan as well. Maybe this was another secret of their clan. This would explain their hatred towards him, especially when he became the fourth Hokage. Hiruzen explains to Naruto that he still has no idea who his father is. Naruto then sits back and looks around the room. Lord Third, I have some more questions for you. Who are the previous Nine-Tailed Jinchuriki? Well, that was, of course, Mikoto Uzumaki. Wrong. See, that doesn't exactly line up with where we are today. She's been dead for a very long time. So of course there had to be another. But during this time, there was no other Uzumaki within the Leaf Village. They all resided within the Whirlpool Village. Am I right? Hiruzen cautiously nods. That's when the Leaf had the young Kushina Uzumaki come here. So, since she wasn't Uzumaki, it was easy to tell she was the Jinchuriki. In the academy is where she met the fourth Hokage. The rest, well, you already know. Hiruzen sits down, putting his hand on his face. This was no mere child he was speaking to. He had the intelligence that could lead him into the Hokage position if he so wished to. His detective skills were impressive, which would also make him an amazing tracking shinobi. When he looks back, he asks for the money within his mother and father's earning as a shinobi to be transferred to his own account. Hiruzen tells Naruto that he'll have it done soon. Naruto would smile, opening the window. I'll catch you in a while, Lord Third. Naruto then uses the flying Raijin to make it back to his apartment. There's no way Hiruzen would fall out of his chair in shock. At the age of 7, he couldn't have possibly mastered his father's jutsu. A couple more months would go by, as Naruto is finally placed on a Genin squad. It was with his other two friends, Sumi and Ritsu. Their sensei was a shinobi named Azuma Saratobi. He meets with his squad in an open training area. As they sit down on logs, they begin talking while they wait on him. I heard that our sensei is super strong. Are you excited, Naruto? I don't know. I've become a shinobi, so I guess now my goal is to rise through the ranks of shinobi and travel through the world. That's a great goal to have, but you'll find out that life is much more than just that. They all turn, seeing their sensei, who blows smoke into the air, introducing himself. Well, let's see what you three got. Attack me. Sumi and Ritsu are caught off by this statement. However, their teammate moved without hesitation. It's as if an order was programmed into his brain, and he had to execute it. Naruto would throw a punch, but it's blocked. Good strength, especially for your size. Point to Naruto for moving fast. The rest of them then jump in, and Azuma continues to dodge their attacks while still smoking. As a shinobi, seconds in a battle can determine life or death. Don't wait for an enemy to attack first. If you see an opening, take it. Naruto and Ritsu jump forward together, and Azuma flips away, creating distance. From behind him, Sumi attempts to close some of his chakra points. He blocks each of her strikes and then counters, sending her towards a tree. Naruto flash steps, and he catches her just in time. And he uses his Senju abilities to begin healing her. Bold move. If you think your enemy will let that happen, you're a fool. Azuma tries to strike them, but an earth wall then separates them. He turns back, seeing the hands of Ritsu on the ground. Not bad at all. Hard to believe you three were just some academy runts. But this wall won't protect you. Azuma covers his blades in chakra and cuts through the earth wall. He's then forced to dodge a blade of Naruto, who was waiting for this. He's clearly the strongest out of the three. Every time I leave myself open for an attack, he goes for it. He doesn't even seem to think it will land, but he still attacks. But each time he does this, Azuma swings his left arm, testing his theory, and Naruto quickly evades, creating distance. There it is again. Is he not good at close quarter combat? No, that can't be. Wait a minute. Azuma then has his chakra points in his lower back closed. He then turns to see Sumi, but she's not even there. Instead, it was Ritsu who hit Azuma into the air with an earth pillar. The sensei begins flying through the air, and Naruto takes a deep breath. After Azuma regains his composure, he feels a cold sensation from behind him. As this was Naruto's bloodlust and power, they both began rising simultaneously. His chakra became so intense that it was now visible. What is this kid? Naruto then flash steps towards Azuma, but he's just barely able to block with his chakra blades. Only the tip of Naruto's katana is able to make contact with his sensei's face, actually cutting him. That's a strong attack, but if you make it that obvious, you won't kill a fly. Alright, you three, try and keep up. We have a mission to do today. Azuma then runs off with the three genin chasing after him. Here is where I feel like I can take a pause in this story for just a second. I don't even know why I'm doing this, but I feel like some of you might wonder why Azuma seems so much more badass and stronger here. Well, I did that for two reasons. One, he's the son of the third Hokage, a person trained by the first and second, so he should be on the level of a shinobi like Kakashi, if not higher. But the second reason is more personal, as I just love him as a character, and I think he needs more time to shine in the story. Alright, let's get back to it. The group then delivers a letter for an elderly man, but the entire time Naruto was replaying the final moments of the battle. His final attack was blocked, yet it worked on the masked man. What made these moments different? Naruto analyzes the memories over and over until it clicks. Later in the day, Naruto goes out on his own to train. His sensei would actually be watching him. Naruto activates the Sharingan and creates a clone of himself. The two begin to have an intense battle, with Azuma on the edge of his seat while watching. This was more than just training. It's as if he's trying to recreate a life and death situation. Naruto then creates more clones and takes off his own shirt. The clones rapidly begin attacking Naruto, with his defense barely being enough. Naruto was fast, yes, but so were each of his clones. He blocked one as another would be getting close. He saw through this and countered the attack. Naruto then flips into the air, shooting down balls of flames. What the hell? Isn't that jutsu of the Uchiha? How does he know it? This kid's getting more and more interesting. The clones then block with a water jutsu, and Naruto himself would rush in. Azuma's heart drops as Naruto performs the same jutsu as the second Hokage. But this time, he used his own chakra to cover his blade. He cuts through the clones with little effort and stands there gripping his blade. Naruto shouts with excitement, and his sensei would sigh. Maybe this team will be interesting. A couple more years then go by, and Lady Hinata and her mother are kidnapped by shinobi from the cloud. Sumi, who is her elder cousin, runs to her team and tells them. She first goes to Naruto. It was a snowy night, and she had to move quickly. She opens Naruto's house door to see him working out in the middle of the room with a clone. What's up, Sumi? It's Hinata. She was kidnapped. Naruto didn't ask any questions as he grabs only a coat and jumps out of the window. He breaks the glass, falling to the streets of Konoha. Naruto then activates his Byakugan, seeing groups of shinobi being dispatched all over the leaf. He then runs and finds an area that has footprints. They went northwest, but why? They must be planning to lose us in the snow and then circle back to their own village. Naruto then becomes covered in a deep orange chakra, speeding off using the second Hokage's jutsu. The mother and child were tied up, being carried by shinobi as they were unconscious. One of the shinobi then noticed something up ahead. It was a small childlike figure. This is where they see the bloodlusted Naruto holding a katana. He had found a shortcut to this bridge and assumed they were going there, and it looks like he was right. This is where they would tell him to get out of the way so that they could cross the bridge. Wait a minute. Where is the bridge? Naruto begins walking towards them, as this causes the shinobi to hold a kunai to their hostages. Naruto takes note that he was severely outnumbered. It was 10 against 1, and these shinobi were most likely jonin. In one movement, Naruto rescued both of them. He lays them against a tree and covered them in his large coat. Sit tight for just a little bit longer. How the hell did the brat do that? It doesn't matter. Let's kill him and take them. Naruto steps forward, wondering what it would be like to take a life. In one movement, he cuts down the 3 weakest there. Another attack he would dodge. He flips through the air as one of them is seen going for the hostages. Naruto teleports in front of them and cuts this shinobi in half. Blood lands on his own chest as Naruto looks forward towards the remaining shinobi. They begin to circle Naruto, attacking him with no stopping. Naruto is cut across his cheek and then his chest. He tries his best to dodge, but he can only do so much while protecting 2 others. Chakra will cover his blade as he swings it. As the shinobi in front of him would block it, it cuts through his kunai, leaving him with no head. This is when the woman wakes up, seeing this child defending her. Naruto locks blades with 2 of the others, but then is cut in his back. He falls to the ground, and the woman watches the 3 shinobi begin to walk towards them. She grabs her child, holding her tight. But this is when all 3 of the men would drop dead to the ground, as she looks back to see Naruto standing in front of her with a 3 tails cloak, dripping blood from all over his body. He sheathed his katana and created a clone. The cloak would then slowly vanish as the woman fell asleep again because she was so weakened. The clone and Naruto would try to use the flying Raijin, but he couldn't focus on where his seal was because of the snow. He might end up buried under the ground with them, and that'd be no good. So instead, he begins to run back to the village. Hours later, while Hiyashi and Hinabi wait at the gate for the rescue squads to return, they see 2 people. No, it was 2 kids. The Hokage arrived at the gate as well to see Naruto walking through with the woman and child in his arms. Naruto, where are the rescue squads? Naruto ignores the Hokage and hands the woman and her child to the man. Hiyashi looks down at Naruto, thanking him deeply, and Naruto bows. After bowing, he turns to the Hokage with a smile. Hiruzen gets a vision of Minato within the boy, but right after, Naruto falls to his knees. He coughs up blood that would fall into his lap. Hiruzen then noticed how severe his injuries were. He did this alone. The search parties clearly didn't make it to the battle. There's no telling where they are. Just how fast was Naruto moving to track them? He touches one of Naruto's cuts and goes to examine the blood, but Naruto grabs his hand and he pushes it into the snow. After this, he pushes Hiruzen away, as his last words that he tells the Hokage are, "It's poison. Stay back." Naruto falls to the ground, passing out. The life in his eyes slowly fades, but he wakes up in a hospital. Hiruzen was shocked that he woke up so early and asked how he felt. Naruto disregards this and asked how the woman and her child were doing. Are they okay? They're fine, Naruto. Now tell me what happened. Well, I defeated the Cloud Shinobi, but on my way back, 2 more had appeared. This is the moment where we enter a flashback. Naruto was seen running with his clones when he came across 2 figures that looked very similar. The only difference was their gender and hair color. Naruto asked what they wanted, but they remained silent, beginning to walk closer to Naruto. So, this is the old man's final product. It's impressive, but still doesn't compare to the both of us. What are you talking about? What old man, and who are you? 18 stabs Naruto in his side with the kunai. You ask a lot of questions. She then covers his mouth so he couldn't scream. One of his knees then hits the ground as his vision becomes worse. 17 looks down at the woman and smiles. Maybe I should take her for myself. Naruto's bloodlust would increase, causing the twins to laugh. But they then sense it. They then sense their own chakra already residing within the boy's body. But then they sense many others as well. Naruto stands up and focuses on remaining awake. He feels the poison flowing through his body, but he has to get past these two. Naruto does hand signs, creating an earth pillar. Naruto and the clone would run off of it, jumping into the air. 18 chases after them, and Naruto, well, she tries to kick him down back to the ground. But Naruto spins and clashes legs, and as they do, they both get a surge of memories. Naruto sees the lab where 18 and 17 were living with an old man. 18 then sees Naruto laying on the ground with dead people around him as a baby. This causes 18 to stop for a moment, and Naruto sprints off without hesitation. He couldn't waste a second, as he could be killed here. Naruto doesn't know what he saw, but he keeps moving. This is where the flashback would end. Hiruzen looks at Naruto and sighs. I'm just glad you made it back safe. Hiruzen and Azuma would meet up later in the day and go to the hidden lab of Dr. Gero. They walk in, finding many papers all over the floor, and in the center of the room was a large test tube, but it was open. Near it were notes that were titled Project Cell. That means he was created to become perfect. And Project Cell is Naruto. But that doesn't make any sense. If he was perfect, then why are there so many entries about Project 17 and 18? And why would they attack him? Hiruzen would realize after seeing the photos that these were the lab students of Dr. Gero that Naruto ran into. But still, why would they attack him? Unless Hiruzen rummages through some more notes, finding out about Naruto's steps for true perfection. These steps ended with him absorbing 18 and 17. This would evolve Naruto's power and transform him. That's why they betrayed the doctor. Because he planned to betray them. This also means they could possibly be hunting down Naruto. Hiruzen tells Azuma to keep this a secret. Do you want me to destroy this place? Hiruzen walks forward towards the exit. No. The boy must one day come to terms with who he is. For now, he must fulfill his purpose and become stronger, until the one day where he must confront his past arrives. They leave the lab, and Naruto recovers from the hospital quickly. But all he can think about is the memories that he's seen. Just who were they, and what man was that? A couple more days go by, and in his home, Naruto is visited by his sensei. Azuma blows smoke into the hallway, looking down at Naruto. The Hokage has requested for you. Naruto goes to the desk of the Kage, and this is where he's promoted to the rank of Chunin at the age of 9. The Hyuga clan head would take no other reward for your actions. But this, and you have the experience as well, so I'll allow it. So here's your Chunin vest, Naruto. Naruto puts it on, thanking Lord Third and the Hyuga clan head before heading out. He shows it off to Sumi and Ritsu, as both were shocked and happy for Naruto. Their sensei congratulates him as well, and Naruto then turned to him. Does this mean we're at war with the cloud? Or is there a way to avoid it? Azuma lights another cigarette and blows the smoke into the sky. I sure hope not, because you three still need a lot of training. They would all sigh, but then he smirks. The goal is for all of you to become Chunin in the next couple of years, so get ready, because this isn't going to be easy. By the time Naruto was 12 years old, each of his teammates had also become Chunin. Naruto was also the assistant instructor at the academy for the next generation. He was well known around the village for his deeds, as he always helped someone else, no matter what. On the night of the Genin graduation, Naruto was out with his two other teammates enjoying a meal. They always enjoyed each other's company, until Naruto heard a voice in his mind. "Hey Naruto, you busy?" "Nah, I'm not. What's going on, Inoichi?" "One of our own has gone rogue and stole the scroll of sealing. I haven't alerted many other shinobi, but you are the closest to his location. He's already made it out of the village, but it seems he's heading northeast, possibly to the Cloud Village." Damn it, not them again. Naruto puts his money on the table to pay for the meal and teleports out of the restaurant to the village gate. He finds footsteps, realizing who it is. Damn you, Mizuki. Just why? Naruto dashes off, leaving dust behind just because of how fast he was moving. Mizuki jumps from branch to branch, but then a wall of flame stops him from moving forward. Out from it steps Naruto in his Chunin outfit. "Naruto Uzumaki, where are you heading?" Mizuki stays silent, but the air around him becomes insanely stiff. It even causes him to kneel for a moment. "I asked you a question. Now answer me." Naruto then used the chakra of the Nine Tails to then intimidate him further. Mizuki manages to utter the words Cloud Village, causing Naruto to create clones that would capture him. Why the Cloud? What do they want with this scroll? Power. What else, Naruto? The Cloud wants to overtake the Leaf as the strongest village. All the people you hold dear will one day be gone. Mizuki breaks the bind and attacks Naruto, only to be cut down with little effort. "It'll take you 100 more years before you can even lay a finger on me." "Is that so? Don't act all high and mighty now." Mizuki then eats a chakra pill that causes a curse mark to appear on his body. He gains this strange glow that unleashes a hidden power. Seeing this, Naruto prepares himself. Mizuki is seen right behind Naruto, throwing a punch, but he blocks with his katana, looking back at him. "You thought that simple power-up would bring you closer to my level? Let me remind you that my power is lifetimes ahead of your own." Water style. Water dragon jutsu. Above Mizuki, 6 dragons of swirling water form with their glowing eyes. He looks back down to see Naruto standing there, still with his back to him. There's no way. He's just a Chunin. This jutsu requires immense chakra and focus, yet he does it with ease. There's no flaws in his blade technique either. He blocks with little effort. Naruto then sheathes his blade, and the 6 dragons crash down on Mizuki, drowning him. "Hey, Inoichi, you there?" "Yes." "Naruto, were you able to get the scroll?" "Yeah, I was. The shinobi's finished as well." "Did you learn his objective?" "I did. He wished to retrieve the scroll for the Cloud Village, as you suspected. He states they wish to overtake the Leaf in power and become the strongest shinobi village. But that won't happen." Mizuki also used a strange mark to unleash more power. "I'll be returning soon with his body so it can be examined, and the scroll, so alert the Kage." "Will do. Great work, Naruto." Naruto returns with the body and the scroll, as many would congratulate him, and even the Hokage is impressed. Naruto came back within minutes and had no visible injuries at all. A couple weeks go by, and then Team Naruto, which is what I'll be calling them, so we don't get them confused with Azuma's new team. So yeah, Team Naruto heads to the office of the Hokage, where they would be given a mission. There sat the dog of Kakashi Hatake that revealed information to them. The Genin Squad needed help completing their mission with the bridge builder, as there were many shinobi from the bingo book there, and there was a gang controlling the land of waves. They just needed support so that they could finish out the mission and the bridge. Hiruzen looks forward at Naruto's team and nods. Go. All three then vanish as Naruto teleports them to the gate. They begin to travel, with Sumi and Ritsu asking Naruto what the land of waves was like. I've only ever been once, and during my mission, there wasn't much to see. Hopefully, this time it'll be a little more interesting. When they arrive, they were on a boat looking up at the bridge. Naruto could hear the battle and sense it going on, so he grabs both of his teammates and jumps into the air. Sasuke, who was being overwhelmed by the crystal ice mirrors, was then saved by Ritsu and Sumi, who broke all of them without effort and took down Haku before he could even react. Sasuke, seeing this display of power, was astonished. But quickly he became jealous. He wanted this type of power all for himself. Just how were they so strong? If they were only a couple years older than him, he could also obtain this type of power. Naruto was then seen right in front of Kakashi, catching the blade of Zabuza with his bare hand. Don't worry, Kakashi. We'll take it from here. Just group your team and make sure they stay out of the way. Right. Thanks, Naruto. Anytime. I've been meaning to stretch my arms anyway. Who the hell is this brat? Yo, Zabuza Momochi, tell me something. How much are you worth in that bingo book? The price doesn't matter, because I'm going to be the one to cut you down with my blade. As Zabuza finishes this statement, he's cut in half by Naruto. But then he's fine. What the? Did I? Zabuza then gets the sensation of death and is shaken to his core. Zabuza looks back at Naruto, who had a slight smirk, but then vanished with the body flicker. He would twist and turn trying to figure out where he was going, but then his back was cut open by Naruto. Zabuza, an opponent who Kakashi even struggled with, now could barely stand after just being hit by one of Naruto's attacks. He then jumps forward, but he's kicked back to the ground by Naruto. The Demon of the Mist is pretty rusty. Everyone watches as Naruto covers his blade in chakra and kills Zabuza in one last strike. Good. Now Sumi, Ritsu, let's defend the bridge. Right. The three step up, watching Gato and his men arrive. Kakashi would look at his team, telling each of them to watch carefully. Pay attention, you three. You're about to see the current big three of the Leaf firsthand. Sakura looked towards Kakashi with confusion. Sensei, what's the big three? She heard her parents talk about it, but she still doesn't really get it. Those three are known as the big three because they are seen as the strongest of the next generation, and they're also seen as the next generation of the Leaf Sannin. Ritsu jumps forward towards a group and creates earth pillars that push each of them off of the bridge. This is when Sumi would break through the defense of multiple bandits, dropping them to the ground with one hit of her palm strikes. The group then looks at Naruto, who was surrounded by every angle. He dodged each attack effortlessly, and Sasuke gets a good look at his eyes. They were the three Tomoe Sharingan. Just who was that kid? They looked to be about the same age. But he was a Chunin. Naruto spins, creating strong winds that send 30 bandits flying off the bridge into the water below. He begins walking towards Gato, to only see him smiling. This is when two figures would jump from the shadows. Naruto quickly uses the mind transfer jutsu on all the Leaf Shinobi present. Get out of here now. 17 then jumps forward, attacking Naruto. But then he would also have to block the attack of 18. Kakashi gathers Team 7 and Tazuna as they would head off the bridge. Ritsu and Sumi jump into the battle with Naruto. Yeah, that's right. I don't have to fight alone. Naruto pushes back 17 and swings his leg. Not so fast. This is when Naruto is punched in his stomach. His face is then hit with an uppercut. After this, a flurry of attacks would land, one after the other on Naruto. 17 looks at Naruto, who has his head down. He then grips his hair, lifting up his face. But Naruto is smiling back at 17 and punched him in the face. 17 then feels something that he hasn't felt since he was human. It was fear. Naruto unleashed all his rage at this moment. The power of the Nine-Tails revealed itself in a four-tailed cloak. There was no way the android shinobi would be able to keep up with this. This caused 18 to put two force fields around Sumi and Ritsu so that she could help her brother. She tries to attack Naruto, but her punch does absolutely nothing. Naruto shakes it off and throws her into steel pipes. He gets on top of 17 and continuously punches him in the face. Who is the old man? And who are you? Why do you always appear and attack me? You still don't know. Even with the memory files you have, you still don't know. Have you ever even been to the place you were born? What are you talking about? The voice of 18 is then heard. Don't tell me you think you're human. You were made in a lab, just like us. Naruto's heart drops hearing this, and he's sent flying by 17. Damn, the doctor sure knew what he was doing with him. He's powerful, but we can still defeat him. Naruto looks at his hands, wondering if he was human. He felt human. He was the son of the fourth Hokage, right? So how would he be made in a lab? Naruto then dodges the kick of 18 and flips into the air. This is when he was punched in his gut by 17. Naruto would fall back down to the ground, wondering of his origin. 18 and 17 begin to combo attack Naruto with devastating blows that cause him to de-transform. He allows himself to be hit because each time they connect, he sees into their memories. Naruto sees a lab with a white-haired man, and he sees the twins. They would all look into a test tube where he would float in a green liquid. Naruto snaps back into reality, wondering if that was him. 17 and 18 begin to circle around Naruto, prepared to finish him off. So, you've seen it. That lab. That's your true origin and home. Not knowing where you truly come from is what makes you weak. So, before you can realize that, we're going to kill you. They both try to punch Naruto, but Sumi and Ritsu scream out to him. Naruto grabs the fist of 17 and 18, looking up at them. It doesn't matter where I come from. I know my purpose. So, you two need to stay out of my way. All of Naruto's injuries then begin to fade away, and his face becomes more determined. He throws the twins back and holds his hand. The orbs that his friends would sit in were shattered instantly. Naruto then looked forward, seeing the twins rushing him. His body becomes surrounded in chakra as he cuts through 18's shoulder while dodging 17. He throws her to the ground and holds up his hand. A Rasengan is formed, but then it's absorbed by 18. Naruto calls it a neat trick and says he'll remember it. He then kicks her in the face and turns back to look at 17. The twins will regroup, realizing that Naruto's become stronger, so they would leave the area. But they tell Naruto, the next time we meet, we'll be sure to kill you. They vanish without a trace, and Naruto falls to the ground. What a damn battle. Seems I can't catch a break. Sumi and Ritsu run over to their friend, hugging him and asking if he was okay. They also ask about the twins. I believe I'm connected to them. I think they're my family. They stare down at Naruto blankly, But he gets up. He walks over to the mask of Haku, picking it up for himself. Let's go. They can finish the mission now. Naruto then turns, looking at Gato, who is still on the ground, not having anyone to fight for him left. Naruto throws a kunai that lands against him. It lands in his shoulder, pinning him to something. But then, he sees the explosive tag on it. As Team Naruto walks off, the explosion goes off in the background. He then leaves the rest to Team 7. Team Naruto heads back to the Leaf Village, where he would go to the Hokage's office. After reporting his mission, he looks to the Kage. Lord Third, am I truly the son of Minato and Kushina? Hiruzen pauses before confirming this to Naruto. You're lying to me. Who am I really? They told me I wasn't human. So what am I? Who is Naruto Uzumaki? Hiruzen sighs. Come with me. Hiruzen takes Naruto to a lab, where he would turn on the lights. You have two names. You were originally known as Project Cell. Your real father, or creator, was known as Dr. Gero. He was an intelligent man who always had my respect, even up until his death. I'd assume you'd like to be alone now that you know this information. Since he was your father, all of this is left to you. You can always come by my office if you truly need me, Naruto. Remember, you may not be human, but you still have some of the greatest compassion I've ever seen. Hiruzen closes the lab door, and Naruto begins to walk around. He would make it to the center of a different room, where he sees notes scattered across the table. It was all together near a folder that was labeled Project Cell. Naruto reads of his origin and falls to the ground. He slams his hands on the ground, causing the room to shake. Why? Just why me? This is the moment where Naruto falls into a depression. No one sees him for weeks, and during this time, the Chunin exams in the Leaf had began. Many of the Genin from other villages and the Leaf Village seemed promising. Team Naruto, Team 7, makes it to the preliminary matches even without Naruto, and even on to the second round. Sasuke does. In the moment where Shukaku rose to the skies, many fell to the ground. Despair would fill the air, as all the hope of the Leaf Village and their shinobi was dissipating. Sand began to flood the streets of Konoha, until it was all stopped by trees that had broken through the ground. A larger tree that faced towards the One-Tails, with the person standing on it, would also arise. Hiruzen, who was closer, would take a look to see that this was Naruto. A clone was then made, which would connect to all the Leaf shinobi who were fighting. What the hell are all of you doing? The Leaf Village is being attacked. We are Konoha shinobi. This is nothing to us. Not even a small setback. If you have fallen to the ground and believe you have no more fight left in you, push past all your doubts and rise to protect your home and comrades. Believe in me, and I'll lead us to victory in this moment. Hiruzen in this moment pushes back the first and second Hokage after hearing the words of Naruto. He then wonders what's changed. Just a week ago when he visited Naruto, he was a completely different person. Naruto's mentality was in shambles, and he seemed like such a frail person. We then cut back to the past, only a couple days ago, to see Naruto still on the floor of the lab. Hiruzen had constantly visited him, but Naruto was fixated on the notebook that was created during his creation. Every detail in that book had been memorized by Naruto, who read it over and over again, because at first, he didn't want to believe it, but he had to. He was still broken. He didn't feel like he was real at all. Just why was he created? Can true peace truly be achieved through him? Naruto slams his hands on the ground and holds his face, screaming throughout the lab. He then looks back up at the notebook and throws it across the room, as it would hit a large computer, turning it on. Naruto looked forward hearing this, as he would also hear a voice. Use the hand activator to access the video. Naruto questions this as he walks forward. Whose voice was that? Naruto looks down, seeing 2 hand spots. He places his own on one of them, but it denies him access. He then tries the other, as he was granted access. Naruto then sits back down, as something else would appear on the screen. It was a white-haired man. Is this thing on? Ah, yes. There we go. Hello there. You must be Project Cell, or whatever I've decided to name you. I'm Dr. Giro, your father. I know you must have many questions, but I've made this video just for you, my son. I've created you to save this corrupted world. This is a burden only someone like you can handle. You may feel as if you have no family, but I've given you the DNA from every clan within the village, which means everyone here, yes, they are your family. Make connections with everyone around you, as you could become a legendary Kage. Maybe even more legendary than Lord First. But I'm getting ahead of myself. Come, follow me. The man then turns the camera, looking towards a large test tube in the room. See? This is you. Naruto looks at the baby floating in the water. Such an amazing creature you are. It's so breathtaking that someone so special like you could be created. Never forget why you are here. The world needs a true hero to lead them from this darkness. But remember, I truly do love you as a son. I don't know if I'll be alive to even raise you, but if I am not, I leave you in the care of Lord Hiruzen. He's a good friend of mine. Anyway, when darkness rises in the Leaf Village, or just anywhere in the shinobi world, can you promise me something, my son? Can you promise your father that you'll be the one to lead them into the light? We then go into the present, where Naruto stands right in front of the One Tails as he creates a wood golem, and sand begins to attack it. It blocks the attacks from the tail beast, and before the tail beast bomb is shot at it, he hits it with an uppercut, sending the bomb into the sky where the explosion would happen. The golem is then used to punch the One Tails over and over. The golem then punches the One Tails in its head, causing the sand to vanish from the area. The golem would also go away as Naruto looks down at Gaara. I'll spare you for now, but try and kill my family again, and you'll be the one who ends up dead. Naruto walks off and then begins running, as he runs into a group of Cloud Shinobi led by 2 people, 17 and 18. Naruto looks at them and smirks. This time, you 2 won't escape. As Naruto is surrounded, he cuts through each person in his way. The use of the second Hokage's jutsu was proving more and more as something that was legendary. Naruto grabs an explosive kunai and throws it into the neck of a Cloud Shinobi. Another tries to strike him from behind, but Naruto spins around the blade. You're too slow. A Rasengan will form in his hand, as he sends 3 of them flying with just one of them. 17 then jumps in and begins attacking Naruto. But right as 18 goes to help, Team Naruto, including Azuma, jumps in, stopping her. Sorry, but we can't let you get in his way. Damn you. Naruto dodges all the attacks of 17. What's going on? What's wrong, 17? Did you finally realize you won't be able to beat me alone? Naruto kicks him in the face and then appears behind him, sending him into the sky. After this, Naruto teleports into the sky and slams him back down towards the ground. He crashes down and creates a force field around himself, trying to block the attacks of Naruto, and it manages to actually block the blade. chakra, then surrounds Naruto's katana and shoots into the sky. He then slices down into 17. The landscape around the area becomes shattered and indented. Naruto now stands right over 17, smirking. What now? You got what you want. So what will you do now? It's simple. Our Father wished for me to become perfect and lead the world into peace. So that's what I'll do. Naruto lifts his hand to the face of 17 as a bright light would shoot into the air, and 18 runs past the Leaf Shinobi, making it to the top of the crater. The light begins to die down, but then the air immediately becomes stiff. Naruto was now seen, much taller, and his outfit had changed as well. He now wore white and black robes with strange symbols on them. Naruto looks at his hand smiling. I feel great. 18 had fallen to her knees, and Naruto kicked her in the face, sending her skidding across the ground. He would then appear next to her. Let's end this. Naruto would lift his hand, and at the last minute, she's warped out of the way. Naruto tilts his head behind him, seeing the masked man in black and red robes. You again. I've been waiting for our rematch. Naruto appears behind him, but it goes right through him. He then begins relentlessly attacking him, but each attack phases right through the masked man. Alright, let's see how this works. Naruto throws a kunai at 18 at high speeds. The masked figure catches it for her, but he's then struck in his chest by Naruto and sent flying. 18 would attack Naruto, pushing him back with a chakra blast, but he swats them away like flies. What a shame. You can't compete with me anymore now that I've achieved this power. It's over for you. Naruto lifts his hand, preparing to blast her with chakra attacks, but this is when the masked man appears with a kunai in his hand. He then sneaks up on Naruto, preparing to stab it into his neck. Suddenly, a white ribcage forms around Naruto, and his eyes began to bleed. What the hell? The kunai breaks on impact, causing Naruto to look down at the masked man. So this is the power that you have. These eyes that bear so much pain and hatred. Yet they become so powerful when in the right hands. The masked man then retreats with 18, and Naruto looks forward. He sprints to the location of the third Hokage, feeling his life force fading away. Naruto breaks through the barrier with little effort, and as Hiruzen prepares the Reaper Death Seal, Naruto touches his shoulder. Hiruzen is shocked because how did Naruto get past the force field? But he's also more shocked that he has to look up to Naruto. Lord Third, leave this to me. He then notices he feels so much better with Naruto's hand on his shoulder. He was being healed just by his touch. I'll handle him from here on out. No, Naruto, I can't risk losing you. It's okay. Orochimaru scoffs at his new opponent, but isn't worried at all. Until Naruto vanishes from his spot and pulls back his fist, appearing right in front of Orochimaru. In this moment, he feels death grabbing him by his shoulder and pulling him into its gates. As there was nothing he could do, Naruto's fist would collide with the front of his face, and it sends him flying back. The sheer force of this punch rips through the terrain and causes Orochimaru to crash into rocks behind him. Blood stains the boulder as he looks around the area with a blurred vision. His eyes somehow fixate on Naruto, who is walking towards him. Naruto lifts his hand while radiating power, and as he does, he opens it up, causing a white Rasengan to be formed. Naruto then begins glowing as the Rasengan grows larger and larger until it casts a shadow over the entire area. Naruto then slams it down upon his opponent, and the snake Sanin tries to get away, but there's no use. It then causes a small earthquake within the Leaf Village. Naruto stands there closing his eyes, and using Sage Chakra, he's able to sense the condition of everyone. So, he makes a plan. Many battles still raged on, so Naruto had to give the leaf a boost in power. He would slam both his hands to the ground, causing a large tree to shoot up into the sky. The pollen from it fell into the streets of Konoha. It begins healing the shinobi. This gives them the edge over the remaining cloud, sound, and sand shinobi. They then begin to retreat, and Naruto shouts so all can hear. Let the Raikage know that the Leaf Village from this day forward has declared war upon the cloud. The shinobi and villagers shout out in agreement to Naruto's statement, and Naruto looks around at the outskirts of the village and creates another layer of forest. He then jumps down, and the tree begins to disappear. He goes to find Lord Third. I would be honored to be a general in the upcoming war under your control. No, Naruto. I think it's time for a new Kage to take place. I'm flattered, but I couldn't possibly take that position yet. No, boy, not you. Oh. Hiruzen and Naruto then begin laughing while Naruto helps him to his feet, and they begin to walk into the Leaf Village. Days go by, as then Naruto is promoted to Jonin. After this, he's sent with Jiraiya to go find Tsunade. This is the first time the two had ever met, and Jiraiya knows that Naruto is the son of Minato. He would ask if Naruto would like to learn under him, but Naruto says he already knows all of his jutsu, including Sage Mode, and Jiraiya wouldn't believe him until Naruto shows off each of his techniques. They would skip past this and focus on their mission, as they are able to retrieve Tsunade and make her the Kage. This also leads to the time skip, as there's no Sasuke retrieval arc. After the death of Orochimaru, Sasuke's curse mark is destroyed by Naruto. Years go by in preparation for the first strike. Many other nations do their best to stay out of the village. Well, the village's war, if it does not concern them. However, the cloud makes allies with the sound and even the mist village. The sand, for some reason, seems to remain neutral, along with the stone village. We then see the sound village, shinobi, moving many supplies on a route, but they have to cross a bridge to make it into the land of lightning. It was night, so they moved as fast as they could. Across the bridge sat one figure in white robes who stared back at them. He then began walking to meet them as they would stand there. The Sound 4, please, tell me something. Was Orochimaru revived? Answer me. They began shaking in the presence of Naruto, who would sigh. I'll try to make your deaths painless. They then prepared their guard, but Naruto was already behind them. It won't be that easy to stop me. All of you just need to give in. They attack Naruto and begin pummeling him. Each uses their curse mark and special abilities, but soon realize that this was all just a genjutsu, and they were fighting each other. Naruto was seen sitting down, watching, but was also looking through the supplies that they were transferring. They turn to Naruto and try to get close to him, but all of them are instantly pinned down to the ground by the Leaf's Anbu. General Naruto, what do you wish for us to do with them? Get some answers out of them, and if they don't talk, kill them. I'm going ahead on to the Sound Village. Yes, sir. Naruto then vanishes into the shadows and heads off. He meets up with Sumi and Ritsu. Jiraiya, during the time skip, took on many students, as did Tsunade. Jiraiya had trained Ritsu, Sasuke, Konohamaru, and even Shikamaru. Tsunade had trained Hinata, Sakura, Sumi, Ino, and even more female shinobi in the Leaf Village. Hey guys, how's the scouting going? The sound has been reinforced by many shinobi from the Cloud and the Mist Village. 2 of the 7 Mist Swordsmen are here as well. Is that so? What do you plan to do from here, General? Naruto activates his own Byakugan, looking forward. he finds Orochimaru, who had somehow been revived. He was given no other choice but to communicate with Tsunade back in the Leaf. Do I have permission to attack with my forces? No, permission is not granted. We can't afford to lose any of our top shinobi in this premature battle. Alright then, how about I take down this village by myself? No, Naruto. Report back to the camp. Come on, Lord Fifth. I can take them down with ease. You've heard my orders. Alright, fine. Let's move out. Once they were back at the camp, Naruto groups with Ritsu, Shikamaru, and Kakashi, his top advisors and strategists. Give me some ideas. I want to overwhelm them. Not with numbers, but with power. I could just demolish the base with my Susanoo, but who knows how many of them will escape. Shikamaru then looks towards Naruto, asking if he could infiltrate the sound. If we pose as a sound 4, then it will be easy for us to take them down from the inside and out. You'll have to wait for a little bit once we go in, as then we can begin the attack on the outside as well, while also teleporting shinobi inside. I see. Ritsu looks towards Shikamaru. So, once inside, what's the goal for the attack? Are we going straight for Orochimaru? Or are we taking a slow pace attack to make sure we take down every last one of them? Kakashi then interjects, saying it would be more wise to take each person down one by one. This way, it will be even harder for Orochimaru to revive himself. Naruto nods, agreeing with this. Alright. I'd like Shikamaru, Ino, Neji, and Choji to pose as a sound 4 and infiltrate the village. Does anyone here have any objections? His advisor stays silent, and Naruto goes to find Ino and relays the plan to the Hokage, as she approves. She would then sigh and sits back in her chair. What's wrong? Do you not believe in him as a general? No, it's not that, Jiraiya. Naruto is more gifted in battle than anyone I know. I'm more worried about the sound being destroyed and how the alliance between nations is going to be created after the war. It won't be easy, that's for sure. But if anyone can do it, it will be you, Tsunade. Thank you. Another couple of days would go by as the 4 infiltrate the base as the sound 4 and they head to their rooms. Neji would activate his Byakugan, while Ino uses her mind transfer jutsu. Naruto then teleports in Kakashi, Yamato, and Might Guy into the room so that they could be protected. Shikamaru and Choji would also head out in their disguises to do some more scouting. They go throughout the building, killing anyone they find. This is when they run into 2 of the 7 missed swordsmen. They make it by them, and Ino relays the info to Naruto that they were soon heading outside. The rest of you are with me. Don't attack until you see my signal. Naruto then leads the charge to the base, and the Leaf Shinobi hide in this forest. Naruto gives the signal, and kunai begin to strike down on the shinobi as they would hide in the forest. Many of them are then dragged into the forest. How many? How many were there? But they also had to be on guard, as then screams came from the forest, as the sound shinobi didn't know what to do. The forest also seemed to be getting closer to them, but that couldn't be possible. Suddenly, one man was seen walking towards the base. His yellow hair swayed in the wind, his red eyes focused on what was behind the men. The 2 missed shinobi then looked forward. So, you're General Uzumaki. We've heard much about you. Yeah, that's me. But I don't care who you 2 are, 'cause you're as good as dead. Naruto pulls out not 1 but 2 katana. He then points one of them forward, leaning his head back. Let me show you 2 why I'm the head general. The two would rush at Naruto, who blocks their blades with one of them exploding. Let's see how you deal with that. The black smoke would clear away, as Naruto was seen perfectly fine. What are you? Both shinobi are then forced back by Naruto's rapid strike technique. Those watching from the leaf who hadn't seen him fight were more motivated, awaiting his next signal. The two mist shinobi try their best, but Naruto sees right through each of their attacks with his Sharingan and cuts their arms off. He kills each of them by slitting their throats and stands there. He looks around the cloud shinobi who stare at him. With each step he took, all of them felt uneasy. Calm down, you wimps. You really shouldn't be worried about me. Naruto then stabs his katana into the ground, shaking the area as the leaf shinobi begin to rush in, taking them down. He should be worried about those who follow me. Naruto himself heads in to see how it was going on the inside. Many shinobi were running around, and Ino would come to his mind, telling him to head towards the lab to find Orochimaru. Many of the shinobi who were inside had already been taken down, as the path was already cleared for Naruto. Once inside the lab, Naruto blocks the fist of Orochimaru. The snake Sani kicks him back and then runs further into the lab. You see, I've perfected what my master was once working on. An android-like shinobi. I finally turned myself into one. Naruto looks towards him and cracks a smile. You've perfected it, you say. That can't be possible, because I'm my father's perfect creation. So allow me to demonstrate the fruits of his labor. Naruto's Sharingan turns into the Mangekyo, and this is where his ability is finally revealed. Naruto then uses his left eye to increase the gravity of Orochimaru's body, causing him to fall to the ground. Naruto then stomps on his chest. You make me sick, calling something like that perfect. You dare mock me. Naruto lifts his hand and uses Scorch Release to burn the body to nothing but ash. He exits the base and sees someone else standing in his way. It was Kabuto, who was in his Snake Sage mode. Not so fast, Naruto Uzumaki. Prepare yourself to fight against... Naruto then stabs him in the neck with a chakra rod without warning. This is war. I wouldn't have attacked if I hadn't done my preparations. Naruto exits the underground base and heads to his army as they would head back to the Leaf, successful, with only about 30 casualties. The Leaf Shinobi celebrate this victory and plan their next target, the mist in the cloud. Tsunade tries to begin planning but keeps running into the same problem. When wanting to confront the mist, the water makes it a problem. So she calls in her top advisors and asks them what they thought. Naruto states that he just wishes to take the battle to the source, the Cloud Village. Many seem to agree, but there also is another risk. Even though the Sand has shown no interest, they have teamed up with the Cloud before. Kakashi would propose that they visit the Sand and see what happens. There is the possibility that they remain neutral like the stone, and this would prove to go in their favor. Jiraiya looks towards everyone and would sit down. Well, only one team should be sent that way. I believe it should be the big three that goes. Many look around the room and begin to agree. The elders say that it's a great idea. The Kage looks forward at the end of the table to see Naruto laying back in his chair. Will you go? Yeah, I will. But make me a promise, Lord Fifth. After I lead the Leaf into victory, take the elders out of power, including Danzo. They're a disease that the Leaf must overcome to keep living. Their views are the reason many things went the way they did. Lord Fifth, you can't possibly agree with him. Naruto, what if I am not able to take them out of power? Then I'll do it myself, with or without any of you. Naruto will then get up as he exits the room and the elders begin to argue with the Kage. This is where Hiruzen would walk into the room. What's all this commotion about? The general wants us out of power after the war. Hiruzen looks at them and walks over to a window. It's about time we pass everything to the next generation. Danzo sat there in silence, and as Hiruzen would leave the room, he followed him. He stops walking once far enough away, and turns to face Danzo. You think we should pass it on to the next generation? They are impulsive and cannot function without us. They need to be led by us, without order. No, without us. There would be no order in the leaf. How could I back up the words of that thing? Careful there, Danzo. You do not wish to make an enemy of me or that shinobi. You talk so highly of him. Don't make me laugh. You only say that because your life was saved by him. He is nothing but an experiment of a man wishing to bring back the memory of his dead son. Hiruzen grits his teeth and then turns around. I wish you one day had a love for others in your heart instead of only thinking of yourself. You won't live to see that day. The elders and I had decided you were no longer useful to the village. So tonight will be the night you draw your final breaths. Danzo attacks Hiruzen while his back is turned, but his arm is grabbed by Naruto, who looks down at him with anger. His arm and Shisui's eye are both ripped out at the same time and thrown to the side. Danzo backs away quickly to try and find an exit, but he's crushed to the ground and his body becomes heavier and heavier. Naruto knocks him out, and the next morning he wakes up on his knees in front of the entire village. He looks to his left and his right to see the other village elders. Naruto then leans down to him and whispers in his ear, "Pay attention. This might be the last time you see the village." Tsunade then walks up and exposes the actions of Danzo and the elders. Naruto would also step up. Danzo has done many things wrong, but in spite of it all, I cannot be the one to kill him. There's only one person who deserves to do that. Sasuke Uchiha then appears, shocking the crowd. Many are shocked, but Tsunade goes on to explain it was Danzo's fault for the Uchiha being killed in the first place. Sasuke is then handed a katana by Naruto, who whispers in his ear, "Finish them off quickly, so we can go save our village and many others. This way, no one will ever have to go through your experiences again." Sasuke nods and strikes each one of them down before the village. Many days go by as we see three figures would now be entering the Sand Village gate, one in white and the other two in black Anbu outfits. They are then captured and taken to the Kazekage. Gaara was shocked to see Naruto and his friends, and then has them untied. What do you three want? If you are asking on behalf of your village, I will not be joining the war. I've decided to stray from violence and lead the Sand into prosperity myself. Here, you have to take into account that Naruto and Gaara have no bond at all. He was only spared by Naruto's grace because he could see into his heart. Naruto would nod and stand up. Then we are leaving. I had planned to figure out what you would do in this war. We just needed to know where this village stood on either side. But it seems you've chosen the logical answer. Neither. This war will soon be over anyway. We just need to know how much you would be involved. It'll all be over soon anyway. I plan to bring the battle right to the Raikage's doorsteps. Gaara nods, telling the three of them that the guards will see them on their way out. As they head out, Cloud and Miss Shinobi are seen standing on the walls surrounding the village. Great. Just when I thought I could have a nice day off. Naruto used the mind transfer jutsu while looking around. Lord Kazekage, do I have permission to do battle within your village? Well, it seems there's no other option. My shinobi will assist you, but do not think this makes us allies. Don't worry, I won't. Naruto then nods to Sumi and Ritsu. Darui sits on top of the wall looking down at the figure in white. He's the target. Focus all your firepower on him. Naruto then vanishes, causing panic among them, as Daru's face is then grabbed and he's slammed into the ground as he would die on impact. Naruto unsheathes his two blades, pointing them at the shinobi in front of him. The Mizukage and Raikage made a mistake sending you all here, attacking a village that has no part in the war. It's shameful, and I'll make sure I show no mercy as they pay for it. Multiple lightning and water-style jutsu are created and sent at Naruto. Ritsu slams his hand on the ground, creating a giant earth dome that surrounds him with multiple layers. How do you want to do this, Naruto? Let's have fun. It's been a while since the big three got to stretch their legs a little bit. Each of them cracks a smile and rushes out of the dome at the shinobi. Sumi dodges and ducks under taijutsu attacks while slamming her palms into her opponents. This not only blocks their chakra points but also breaks their bones because of her brute strength. She flips over one, causing another to run into another shinobi. She then punches the air, causing a large air palm to knock off about 10 of them at once. Ritsu sends more off the wall with his earth-style jutsu and then possesses them with the shadow possession jutsu, making some fight each other. The shinobi attacking him believed that he was only a defensive fighter, so many more would rush in. Just as I planned, he then used the shadow possession jutsu in a different way and picks up explosive kunai that throw at a bunch of them, as 30 would explode at once. Multiple combustions begin to happen in the skies, as the Kaze Kage is thankful his village is not in this war. Just the 3 of them alone are enough to take down a small militia of shinobi. Naruto keeps his hands, next to his sides, while dodging each attack and blocking some of them that require it, until someone else steps up. You fools can't see that you're too weak to attack him. Leave General Uzumaki to me. Naruto looks forward, seeing a woman. Just who was she? I'm the Two Tails Jinchuriki. She wastes no time transforming into the black and blue beast. Her paws strike down at Naruto, but he evades, kicking her from the wall to the outside of the sand village. Sand then begins to surround her as she steps with her paws. Naruto jumps down as well and begins walking towards his opponent. To everyone's shock, a full-scale Susanoo appears right around Naruto. Its raging white chakra terrifies all those who stand against it as it towers over the Two Tails Jinchuriki. It has no visible weapons on its side or in its hands, which was a surprise to many, as that's what was heard in legends. Soon, 9 blades of white chakra would form around it and strike the Two Tails over and over again, as they aren't even connected to the Susanoo. There's nothing that could be done at all. The swords then impale the creature to the ground, and Naruto steps from his Susanoo to greet his opponent in their final moments. What do you plan to do now? A tail beast cannot be killed. That is true, but it can be absorbed. A shining light covers the area as Naruto stands there. His chakra begins radiating black and blue flames. He appears back on the wall, shocking the final members of the army. This power is strange. Absorbing an entire tail beast has multiplied my chakra reserves greatly. But these flames, they're extremely hot. Fire style, Phoenix Flames. A black and blue phoenix flies through the air, and then flies through each shinobi, burning them to nothing but ash. Soon, it was quiet, as Naruto communicated with Gaara once again. We're leaving. Naruto teleports them back to Konoha and relays the information to his Kage. Months slowly go by, as the cloud has not only lost many of the shinobi, but they've also lost supplies. The shinobi also seem to be losing hope, and there's no sign that this war will end at all. Men would come running into the office when they spotted the Leaf's army. The Raikage looks out of his window, and he sees an endless amount of warriors. In front stood the image of the man he hated, the son of the 4th Hokage. Get all of our shinobi ready. This is a battle we cannot afford to lose. The Cloud Village gate is then reinforced by many shinobi who stood behind it, preparing themselves. Through the crowd, one person is seen walking towards the gate. Each member of its nation trembles in fear, watching him walk with a smirk, his confidence at an all-time high. It was Naruto, who somehow already made it inside. Naruto stops and turns his head, facing the Raikage's building. "I'll be awaiting your surrender, you old fool." Naruto keeps walking as no one dares to touch him. As he opens the doors, and soon as they close, one after the other, explosions begin to happen throughout the Cloud Village. All the restaurants, blacksmith shops, shinobi buildings, statues, and supply rooms are destroyed. The Raikage breaks his desk in anger. How was he able to do it just that fast, all under my nose? He then turned around, expecting to see his assistant, but there stood Naruto. "I have a message from my Kage. That is, if you still remember how to read, you should take a look at it." Naruto then kicks Killer B in the stomach because he tried to sneak up on him. The clone would then poof into smoke, leaving a scroll behind on the ground. The Raikage picks it up, reading it, and it sees that it's a treaty that he could sign. He rips it all to pieces and says he doesn't need it. He has to destroy Konoha. Many days begin to go by as the Cloud Shinobi suffer from hunger. Meanwhile, the Leaf Shinobi shared laughs and food each night at their camps. Naruto was making the most jokes while keeping his shinobi in high spirits. He looks at Ritsu and Shikamaru, asking how many more days, as they would both say together 3 more. "That's perfect. You hear that, men? 3 more days and you can watch me mop the floor with another Kage." They cheer for Naruto, and these 3 days go by pretty fast. Right on time, the Raikage steps from the village gate with his shinobi behind him. "So, old man, you finally come to give up?" "As if. Listen to me, men. This is it. This is the final battle between the Cloud and the Leaf. If we win here, we will be declared the strongest. Fight them until you can no longer fight anymore. Let your battle spirits rage on." The Cloud Shinobi rushed from the village gate, heading towards the Leaf's army, who would then lead them back into a dark forest, shocking them. This caused them to push on ahead, and the Raikage smirked. But then, they began screaming from this forest. What the hell? Explosions then also began to happen, and the Raikage himself ran down with his brother. Killer B was then stabbed by an arrow, and the Raikage would pull it out himself. They then noticed that this arrow releases toxic fumes around the area. The voice of Naruto was then heard by all. "If you're a regular shinobi, you won't survive this gas. This poison was made especially by me, and it has some serious side effects on the brain and heart. Well, that's the best hint I could give you." Damn you, that coward. The Raikage then has B use the tail beast inside of him to blow away the toxic gas. The Raikage would look forward to seeing Naruto and use the lariat to rip his head off. But he looks down, seeing the head of Omui. What? No. I told you that it works on the brain. The Raikage is then grabbed by trees that pull him to his knees. He's then forced to watch all of his men around him be killed. Many were then captured and brought right before him, as the Raikage had already been tortured by Naruto. Naruto then walked by them and to the Raikage once again. "So, this is the man who fought equally with my father. For someone who's been in many battles, your tactics are terrible. You're just a brat. Can you really be the general?" Naruto then grabs the fist of Killer B, which causes a small crater to form under them. The battle is over. The Kage then watches as Killer B has his arm broken and he's put in wooden chains that begin to drain his chakra and keep him from using his tail beast. Surrender or be killed. The choice is yours. I choose the third option. Third option? Naruto, hearing this, instantly flipped back, dodging the arrival of the Akatsuki and the White Zetsu. Took you long enough. The masked man then kicks the Raikage. Your forces shouldn't be this small already. Naruto looks forward, rushing the masked man, White Zetsu surround Naruto but are blown away just by his chakra alone. The 6 paths of pain try to protect the masked figure, and Naruto blocks each of their attacks with ease. That dojutsu, it's powerful. More Leaf Shinobi then battle against the White Zetsu, while Naruto, the Konoha 12, and their sensei would fight the main Akatsuki members. Naruto flips over the Predator Path, killing the animal and human at the same time. The Diva Path then sends out chakra rods, but they're grabbed by Naruto, who stabs them into other paths of pain. The Masked Man and Hidan appear on each side of Naruto, who blocks their attacks with his katana. 18 then appears right in front of Naruto, blasting him in the face with chakra. He manages to absorb it and send it back towards a large group of White Zetsu, creating an explosion behind them. Naruto is then struck by Hidan, who had caught him off guard just a little bit. He then drinks the blood of Naruto, and his skin changes colors as he begins to control him like a puppet. He decides to stab himself in the chest and cough up blood. But as he does this, Naruto would smile back at him. That won't be enough at all. Hidan falls to the ground with the use of Naruto's Mangekyo Sharingan, putting him in a genjutsu and also forcing him to the ground with gravity. Naruto then pulls out his blade and begins healing, as he begins sprinting back at everyone and grabs 18 by her face, dragging her through the ground. The masked figure and Diva Path both try to attack Naruto with everything they have to protect the android shinobi. If he truly does become perfect, they'll have no chance at all. The Raikage and Killer Bee join in as well, trying to take Naruto down, but this only serves to prove how powerful he is, as they aren't even able to land a critical blow against him. He dodges their strikes with little effort, and then notices that they stopped. You know, I could have ended this anytime I chose to, but I decided to drag it out for a little more fun. The Raikage calls his bluff, and Naruto's hand is then through his throat. Their eyes would widen because they didn't even see him move at all. Even with Mangekyo Sharingan and Rinnegan, they weren't able to track Naruto. Killer Bee would attack him in rage by transforming into the A-Tails, but he was absorbed as well, giving Naruto access to even more power. Pain and Obito would rush him, but Naruto vanishes, finding 18 and pinning her to the ground with the tentacles. He then wastes no time absorbing her. An even greater light shines down upon them until we see Naruto step out with his swords gone and only a black staff left. His eyes were now the Rinnegan, and his hair was a slightly faded yellow that wasn't as bright. Naruto, instead of walking, then floats over to Pain and Obito. With one tap of his staff, all of their bones are then shattered. Then he floats over the White Zetsu, and with a wave of his staff, each of them are impaled by stones and trees. Naruto walks back over to the remaining Akatsuki and kills each of them without thought, but he does absorb Obito. Naruto then finds the real body of Nagato and looks at him. So, this is how it all ends. My life journey ends here. It appears so. Tell me something, Naruto. Just what are you? I'm a shinobi from the Hidden Leaf Village. I see. Well, tell me one more thing. Do you believe peace can truly be created with the path that you're taking? Naruto floats to Nagato and taps his forehead with his staff. In his final moments, he sees the future that Naruto is going to create. This gives him peace of mind as he finally passes on to the afterlife to meet with the Yahiko and Konan. Naruto returns to the Leaf Shinobi, who had already begun to celebrate as his eyes change back to their regular blue state, and his hair gains a brighter hue, returning to his natural color. He runs to Sumi and Ritsu with his staff on his back, hugging them. Let's go build a new future for the shinobi of this world. 6 years go by as we have our final time skip. We go to the home of Sumi and Ritsu, who've gotten married. Their twin children run towards the door after hearing a knock. Ritsu opens it, and he sees Naruto hugging him. Good to see you, Naruto. How have you been? Go ahead and come inside. Naruto walks in and picks up the twins. They were always excited to see their uncle, and it has been some time. Naruto begins to tell them many old stories of their father when they first met, and Sumi asks Naruto if he ever considered having children of his own. Well, there is something I've been working on. If you two get a chance, stop by the lab tonight, and I can show you. Ritsu says it's a deal, and once the kids are asleep, each of them creates clones that would watch over them as they would go to the location that Naruto had gave them. They find the lab and walk in. It was breathtaking. Each square foot of the room held something astonishing. They head to the back of the lab where they find Naruto sitting down in a chair. Glad you two made it. I wanted you to be the first to see, since you two are my family. Naruto presses a button, causing a tube to arise from the center of the room, and inside was a floating baby. They would question what this was, as Naruto would smirk. I made him from my own DNA. His name is Boruto. This is where our story finally concludes. So, I'm not gonna lie to you guys at all. I rewrote the origin for this story, which is like the first 3 or 4 pages. I rewrote that like 6 times. That's probably why this one took so long to get out, is because I was really trying to perfect the beginning. Because if the beginning isn't good, the end is never good. So you have to start how you finish with these type of things. I couldn't really figure it out at all for some reason, but eventually I did. I really did enjoy adding some Dragon Ball characters, even though it wasn't many. And I really did try to portray the Cloud as the enemy the best I could. And I tried to make it pretty obvious if you couldn't figure it out throughout the story. In the final moments of the war, I did want to make the battle a little more challenging for Naruto, but I couldn't really find a way to do it. Even if I did, it would basically remove the character that I built up to be so strong. But the ending felt really good to me. Even though he can't really have children the normal way, I figured him creating one just like Dr. Gero, his father, would be pretty good for the story. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one, and if you did, leave a like so more people can find it. This is Zero, and I'll catch you all on the next one.